One. Today we're diving into identity federation, which sounds complex but solve a very real problem. Think about your vendors and partners. They have got their own identity systems, maybe Google Workspace, maybe their own Entra ID tenant, maybe Okta. When they collaborate with you, what happens? Traditional guest access requires them to use one-time passcode or create a Microsoft account or remember yet another authentication method. So you see, so many things. It's a friction. People hate friction. So what is identity federation? Federation means trust between identity providers. Your intra ID tenant trusts, for example, Google's identity system. When a Gmail user accesses your resources, you redirect them to Google. They authenticate there with their existing credential. Google sends back a token saying, yes, this is really the user. For example, your Gmail account. You trust that token and grant access. So the user never creates a new password. They never get passcode emails. They use what they already have. This is seamless authentication. So setting up, if we say, this is what we'll go through in our lab, but think about federation versus passcode. So identity provider out of the box like Microsoft Entra ID supports federation with, for example, Google. So most common for B2B scenarios, contractors open use Gmail. Facebook less common in B2B, more in B2C scenarios. SAML or um, other kind of providers, federation providers. Any identity provider that supports these standards, um, that will works. That includes other Entra ID tenants, Okta, Auth0, Ping, Identity, and more. For enterprise partners who also use Entra ID, there's automatic federations. If they are using Entra ID with a verified domain, federation just works. No configuration needed on either side. So why not just one-time passcode for everyone? They are secure, right? Yes, but they are inconvenient. Users have to check email every time they sign in. Email can be delayed. Passcode emails look like phishing. And from a user experience perspective, it feels dated. Federation provides a modern, streamlined experience. For long-term partnership with like frequent collaboration, it's worth the setup effort. And if we said like domain federation consideration, you can configure federation at the domain level. Every user from that kind of partner company automatically uses federation authentications. Or you can configure it per user, granular. But that actually more administrative work is required. So most organizations go domain level for established partnership and leave one-time passcode as the fallback for everyone else. So we'll go through this lab where we will see how it actually works. So this lab, we are going to add a federated identity provider. Think that your company works with many vendors, and in occasion you need to add some vendor accounts to your directory as a guest and allow them to use their Google account to sign in. So first exercise is configure identity providers. And then configure Azure to work with an external identity provider. So in this lab, we are going to add a federated identity provider. Your company works with many vendors, or on occasions you need to add some vendors accounts to your ID directory as a guest and allow them to use their Google account, for example, to sign in. So for that, very first we need to configure Google to be used as an identity provider. So for that, let's uh, go to Google API, and I'm going to sign with my Google account here. So after signing in that API and app services, you can see that credential. Select on click credential, and here we're going to set up a credential first. So create credential. Then you will see that there is a OAuth client ID. So there are different options, but I'm going to select OAuth client ID. And here first you see that application type. There are different application type. In our case, that is web application. Click web application. So it is better to follow this video because sometimes because they are changing continuously that web portal, and that the instruction may not always be correct. So give a name for this one application, like this web application name. So let's make B2B. Then if I go down below, then there is the option like add URI for relate to applications. So first URI, then second URI, we have to get the tenant ID. So let's get the tenant ID. Okay, go to overview. Then there is a tenant ID. So let's copy that. Then third one, then we need tenant name. So let's go back. Tenant name ID. Tenant name is this one. It does not take the white space, so then cover that one. Click on create. So we have got client ID. take a backup, take a note of this one. We may need in later phase. So this is client ID and client secret. We can also download as a JSON format. So this is secret and this is ID. So now click on OK. So that has been created. Now we are going to invite a test user account. So for that, go to OAuth concept screen. So if you go down, there is an audience, and is test users. Click add users. Click a name, like let me give my name as a test. Click save. And then so users has been saved here. After testing, when you do that one, make sure you delete that one for safety purpose. And for Entra, if I go to external identities and all identity providers, you will see that Google has been configured. So now let's create a user. Go to users and new users. What is that? Invite external users. I'm going to invite external users that I have created. So give a email. You can display name some invite and on other message join in team, and then review and invite as a guest. So click invite. So invitation in progress. I'm expecting to get an email. So let me check my email that I have got. Can check accept invitation. So I'm able to log in with my Gmail account without any password. So that's it for this lab. Please join next lab.